the daily morning show where we talk about the latest topics in entertainment. I'm Brittany Jones-Cooper.
I'm Shannon Coffey.
I'm Allie Colbert.
And I'm Lucas Tim.
Woo!
Hi, everyone.
Yeah! And we all just thought it was still Monday, so the week's getting off to a great start.
Well, I was up late last night.
Yes.
A certain award show. Speaking of which, the 2018 Video Music Awards were last night right here in New York City, and there is a lot to talk about. From Camila Cabello to Post Malone, the big winners and not to the point. Here to talk about some of the top moments from last night is our resident music expert, Jameer Pond.
Woo! Woo!
Here he comes. Welcome.
Thank you, man.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Have a seat.
Come on, come on.
Appreciate you.
Welcome to the show. We have a lot to talk about, Jameer.
Yes, we do.
dig in.
Jameer, there's a lot to talk about. I think first, let's talk about the winners.
Okay.
Let's see who won. So what stood out to you, the big winners from last night? Go.
Could we just talk about J-Lo for a minute?
Yes.
Yes.
Does she age?
No.
No is the answer that I would say. J-Lo was amazing. I mean, J-Lo looked so beautiful. She got on that stage, did her thing, and immediately accepted the award afterwards. Wasn't even breathing hard.
Wait, I'm gonna say, they did like a very long intro and they were back there beating her face and she came out looking perfect.
Yeah.
I was like, she used that 60 seconds to like the max. She looked perfect.
And she gave some good, well-needed press to the 6 train. Let me tell you, I take that train, it's terrible. And
It is.
Now I know J-Lo wrote it. It's like, okay, we can like the 6
What
train
did she
again.
say exactly?
Well, she comes out Jenny in the block because she lived in the Bronx, so she used to take
They filmed
Yeah.
off
That
the
was
Olmsted
everyone watched
stuff.
Yeah,
last
true.
night.
Not
Yes.
to watch. She does her famous, like, she comes out on the 6 train and does Jenny from the block. And,
Yeah, when I used to live off the same stop where she used to live, whenever I got off, everybody in the bus would be like, J-Lo! Like, they were like, Jenny from the block! Like, whoever you were, they would just yell about J-Lo for like 20 minutes. And it was like, great, this is such
I
a fun
love that.
train.
I always pray for people who take the 6 train.
Yeah, it's tough.
I pray for everyone who takes the subway.
Yes.
I'm just praying for
too.
New York in general.
You hear that, Cuomo?
What's
You hear
happening
that?
here?
Yeah. Well,
But J-Lo really did remind us that she really is this. I think a lot of times she gets forgotten when we're talking about Madonna and Janet Jackson and all these other people, but she really has had this long career. She's had hit after hit. She's had some major collaborations. She can sing, she can dance, she can act. She really is this triple threat that, like, I think goes under the radar sometimes.
Yeah, and her boobies. Like, can we just talk about those little boobies she has there that just, like, are so magical? I could say, like, the whole performance, I was just like, blah, 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 blah. Like, I cannot get over just that little side boob. It's so perfect and so good.
looked unreal.
I can't say that, but I'm gonna let you say it.
Yeah, I was actually he told me to say that.
I did not.
He told me.
I did not.
She can sing, act, and dance, and all 3 at a mediocre level.
Hot take.
I
take it.
I think she's a good dancer.
I feel like my
She's
mom's
a
gonna
great
be so
dancer.
upset with Allie today. She's gonna be like, I don't know. I don't like Allie anymore. I don't know why.
No, is she a really good singer?
She's a really good dancer.
She's a really great dancer.
It's
Really
about
great
being able to
dancer.
do all. It's like the full package.
she's a performer.
Because we talked about Madonna's not the best singer, neither is Janet. But when you throw in all of their other talents, it makes them more robust.
More complete.
And I'm glad they gave the Video Vanguard to her. But okay, so but Song of the Year went to Post Malone, Rockstar. Were you surprised, or is that like I don't know?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I wasn't surprised because that song was everywhere. Like everywhere, and it's like breaking all these records. But
I mean, think about who was in that category though. It beat out New Rules. It beat out like all of these songs.
it beat out
that
Havana.
Yeah.
Which
Wait.
Havana,
Okay, well, speaking of her,
Yeah, but Carmen Cabello won a lot.
feeling
Yeah.
like a Rasta.
How did that win?
21 Savage, probably.
But I gotta say, that was my favorite performance of the night, even though it was so bare. There was like nothing in it, just the strobe lighting. And like, for some reason, Post Malone, I'm always like, this guy, he stinks. He looks like he smells bad. He's crusty. I don't like him. As soon as he's performing, I'm captivated. I'm into it. 21 Savage was there looking like a skinny little hot ass antichrist that's gonna possess our pussies, and I'm like so ready for it. Like so ready for it.
Again, you said it, I did not.
Yeah, you told me to say that.
did
though.
not.
Remember, you were like, say that 21 Savage will possess your pussy.
So
Yeah.
they ended the 15-hour show broadcast, whatever. Basically, what I thought about the VMAs, it did not get good until hour in and went an hour too long. That's what I think. I did not get it. I think it didn't get good enough until Nicki Minaj did her pre-tape performance. I love Nicki. I thought
she
that
killed it last night.
She has redeemed herself in some way.
Right.
Not all the way, but a little bit. That performance I thought was key for her.
Right.
Yeah. I think it was key too because one, they did it on the Oculus, so it had this whole new look, and they had clearly booked a lot of fans.
All
so
Nicki fans.
Yeah, so when you see them engaging with their audience and they knew all the words, like, it's hard to have a bad performance.
Yeah.
And I think we should just talk about it. It pains me to bring it up, but there was an Aretha Franklin
Speak for your queen.
tribute of sorts.
Was it a tribute?
Was it a
I don't
tribute?
know.
It was more of a
Yeah.
reflection of sorts.
Okay.
Honestly, you know I love Madonna, but I was surprised that she didn't bring up how to honor Aretha by talking about how she won the Golden Globe for Evita. Like, it was like literally like Madonna was, I was like, where is she got? She's gonna sing Don't Cry For Me Argentina now? Like, it was just.
Just to set it up a little bit, they came
Yeah.
out of the commercial break and they played this really great, like 60-second clip of Aretha Franklin
Yeah.
singing back in the day. You're moved. You're ready for a
Right.
proper tribute that we've seen on every award show ever.
Yeah.
Right.
And Madonna walks out and you're like,
Huh.
interesting choice.
Where's this gonna go?
Interesting choice for the person to do it. And
yeah.
then she spent the next 7 minutes talking about her career,
Yeah.
her accomplishments. She tried to say like she tried to sing an Aretha Franklin song once, but that
Yeah.
was like the closest she came to actually bringing Aretha into the conversation.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were just like, this is literally an iconic singer that we just lost. Like, couldn't you have talked about her accomplishments and her impact on music?
Yeah.
I just want to say, like, when she was telling her story,
Right.
I was very engaged. Remember, she like mentioned the crack house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, is Aretha Franklin gonna save Madonna?
Right.
Yeah.
A young Madonna from a crack
I
house.
imagine Madonna's like, Wax Wheaton's like, come on, honey, I got you.
I got
Make
you.
your
Let
start.
me take this child out of this
But like,
crack
for
house.
real, the way it was going, you're like, oh, she
Right.
saved
I
her
was like,
life.
this is amazing.
And as a Madonna super fan, I was like, oh no, this is not gonna go the way
didn't
you
go
think
well.
it is. I'm like, oh, she's just
Yeah.
gonna sing the song. No, these are my 3 points about it. I think like the intention to have like the Queen of Pop honor the Queen of Soul is a good intention thing. And Madonna was trying to, but overall it was an egotistical, like, whatever.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you don't talk to anyone who's not off your payroll.
That is true.
This is what happens when she's surrounded by just people who pay for her. And also, honestly, I think MTV had a week to prepare to do something.
Totally.
I'm surprised they're not bringing someone like Jennifer Hudson who could sing to her caliber to properly honor Aretha Franklin.
I agree. Jennifer Hudson, I'd take a Christina Aguilera.
Totally.
I would take somebody off of Broadway. I mean, Carole King could have come and just chatted. I mean, there are so many other options.
I think we would have done a better job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was like my story.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I listened to Aretha Franklin at
Right.
work, and I was inspired to quit my job. Like,
Right.
You're
Yeah.
on the money there.
It was not her best moment. But yeah, Camila Cabello won Video of the Year, which I think even Madonna was surprised, because I think Madonna looked at Ariana and was like, oops, like, I thought we were gonna win this. So were you surprised by that? Because I know I was.
absolutely surprised by that. I'm hurt for Drake because
Yeah.
Drake spent all that time giving out so much money to people, and he didn't even win for God's plan. So I'm like, Drake kind of, I might ask for some of that money back.
Also, the
That
Carters.
video didn't have the artistic caliber that these other videos did. I mean, just giving
True.
out money doesn't deserve an award.
Yeah.
It is good for taxes.
Right.
Tax
Yeah,
purposes.
that's true.
Yeah.
But the Carters, I mean, ape shit. They shot it in the Louvre.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, it was
so
amazing.
stylistic. It's so symbolic. There's all this stuff in it. But I was thinking, I think they only give awards to people who agree to attend.
Right.
Because none of the big names were there. Drake wasn't there. Rihanna wasn't there. Beyonce wasn't there. Jay-Z wasn't there. So they're like, you don't show up, you don't get awards.
Well,
Which
Yeah.
it did feel like, yeah, it was like the young 20-year-olds were the only ones that were there and the only ones winning award. I mean, like, De Niro winning Best Collaboration, I don't want to insult J-Lo and Cardi B, but...
DJ Khaled.
DJ Khaled, but like, ape shit, I would think the Carters would actually win Best Collaboration.
Yeah.
That album was pretty
Yeah.
substantial. But, and going to performances, I actually was so impressed by Ariana Grande.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
that was a beautiful
one, it's
performance.
really refreshing to hear live singing. And two, it was really kind of an actual controversial like performance, kind of doing a Last Supper of just women.
Sexy Last Supper.
A sexy Last Supper.
Yeah.
And then of course she made it sweet at the end when she brought out her grandma and her mom, I think.
Okay,
So, yeah.
here's my thing with that song. I
Yeah.
really like the song. I love Ariana. I like her new album. That song is great, but it just like doesn't give me like the feels. Like I'm not like, oh my God, yes. Like I'm just like, this is nice. Like that's kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of her songs on her new album are like that.
It's very vibey. You're
Yeah,
right. You just like
vibey.
listen
It's a vibe.
to it and you
I'm
just
really
sort of.
into it though. It
Yeah.
really helped me
like
the other day when I was having a panic attack because I ate an edible that some DJ gave me on the
Uh-huh.
street. And then I was like, I don't know if that was an okay idea. And then I put on Sweetener and I was like, I'm
God is a
just
woman.
breathing and breathing. And I was like, it's all
Totally.
okay.
You worked
If you're
through it.
high coming
Yeah.
home, perfect. If you're not,
That's what music is today, guys.
I don't know. Ariana Grande saved my life. Thank you. Sweetener did it for me. You know. I also want to talk about like the randomness of this award show. Ja Rule just showing up. Like so many cutaways to Ja Rule.
I love Ja Rule.
And I feel like if you raise the volume enough, you could hear him being like, "You guys forgot about Fire Festival, right? You forgive me? You forgive me for Fire Festival? I'm sorry. I'm sorry." So bad.
Ja.
Those bologna sandwiches they handed out.
Even there?
So
He was there.
They started, like, I literally tweeted this like 2 minutes in. They kept cutting to Ja Rule for reaction shots. I was like, is it 2003? Like, why did we care that he's there? But then he performed with J-Lo.
Yes.
So I think like it was probably in his contract, like, I'm gonna perform and you're gonna cut to me 5 times during the performance. Because like otherwise it made no sense. He really loved Travis Scott's performance though.
Yes.
He was like all hype and like so.
That was a good, but I thought that was actually a really good performance. It was trippy, but he's so high energy.
Yeah.
It's like it's hard not to. I mean, Kylie Jenner looks like Tilda Swinton now. I don't know what happened to her, but she does.
She was sleeping. Even through his performance, she was like,
Yeah.
The edible kicked in.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
needed to listen to Sweeter. For sure. I also really wanted to talk about that boy band, Pretty Much.
Yes, who are
I
they?
had never seen them before, and they look like, some of them look okay, and one of them looks like he fell in the ooze, and the guys were like, it's too late to cut him from the band, we gotta keep him. I'm like, they're so weird. Yeah, he's in the contract, he's locked in. But I've never heard them, so I checked out their EP, and they have the most low status boy band songs I've ever heard. It's always like, oh, I see my girl in the club with somebody else. Oh, she's getting touched up, I'll just watch. I was like, okay.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. Then there's another one where it's like, oh, I'm obsessed with this girl so much. They all sound like this. And it's like, I'm vomiting and passing out. And I'm like, this is not hot. I'm not thinking about you at all.
Yeah, and they're not hot. They all just look dirty.
Yeah, they fell in the ooze.
You have to watch your
I love the idea
wallet.
of boy songs like that. She won't text me back. I guess I'll just let her do her own thing.
Exactly, like, then listen to Pretty Much. Like, that's their EP 100%.
Oh, man.
I felt so old watching those like the short performances of these
You
young
felt
people.
old.
I was just like, who are these people? Where the music
There was a guy named Juice Box.
Juice WRLD.
Oh my God, I love Juice Box. And you who did a collab?
I know. Capri Sun was like, what?
Lens in the straw.
Cool, right?
And what about they made Cardi B walk through an obstacle course to accept
Yeah,
her
that was
award
messed
from
up.
the Millie Bobby Brown in a mosh pit. What was that?
I love it.
You liked it.
It's so Cardi.
Millie Bobby Brown looks like she has a hard time knowing what 14-year-olds act like.
Oh my God.
She's like, I am happy, this is fun. I don't know.
They have raised Millie Bobby Brown in a laboratory and shown her flashcards of how adult women act, and they're like, okay, happy, and she's like, they're like, sad, she's like,
No,
and she's just going off a stack of cards her grandma gave her.
Wow.
I heard she auditioned to play the Queen next season of The Crown.
She can
like,
totally do
ideally,
that.
that's what she should be playing. But she's very eloquent. But
That's why she's very elegant
but
and
it's all- it's
mature.
like- she's like thinking to
Yeah.
herself, look at all these youths. Like,
Totally.
they love Cardi B.
Why did she get the
Like
award for Cardi?
that new meat that they're growing in labs that's not really meat, that's Millie Bobby
She
Brown.
is the Impossible Burger, is what you're saying.
I love Impossible Burgers. Let's chill
That's what
for
Millie
a
Bobby Brown
minute.
is.
Hey, really, please?
But Cardi kind of shaded Nicki, right? Yeah.
At least that's what the Twitter streets are saying.
Right.
In the streets of Twitter, that last bitch,
Yeah.
that was for Nicki.
Explain what she said.
Yeah.
Well, she was like, you know, I can't do a good Cardi impression. But, you know, genuine and people who are genuine in class, you can't pay for that.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Right.
Okay? And I was like,
Because before the award show, Nicki kind of was alluding to that her album may not have done so well because unlike other people, she's not paying for fans or paying for the fake success.
okay.
Right.
So that kind of
And
sparked.
she writes all her own stuff.
Which I'm disappointed about because Nicki kind of allowed Cardi B to rise. I thought that was very classy of her because like, you let younger people come in and don't get threatened by it. But recently, I don't like hearing that because I don't think Nicki needs to do that. Based off her performance last night, Nicki's still...
No, she needs to do that. She lives off of rap beef. That's what
She
she
needs-
does.
yeah.
Her whole album is talking shit about everybody, and that's like her
I
banger.
loved that.
Yeah, I mean that's
the balls
that's
Nicki
hip hop.
Minaj
Like you
has
need a
to
little.
not only put that on the album but perform it at the VMAs,
Right.
calling out every single person.
Yeah.
I mean, she had some serious big monsters enter her space when Cardi B took the scene, and this was like very important for her to come back and steal it.
Yeah.
I love how.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, I love how Cardi is like unbothered though.
Right.
Like, she won't
Yeah.
feed into anything. She was on Instagram Live, like sipping her soup with a pinky up, just didn't play into anything. Like she's really like outclassing Nicki in this one.
You're right.
But I liked how Nicki stepped up for Normani when Tiffany Haddish did that little flub on Camila's
Yeah.
name.
Ooh, yeah.
And then she was like trying to distract from her own error and started making fun of the rest of Fifth Harmony. And I was like, why? Why would you do that? But then Nicki came out and said, Normani is that bitch.
But I did love the cutaway of Steven Tyler and Tiffany Haddish dancing
Yeah,
together.
right.
Like, what a great duo that is. What were they talking about?
So
I don't know. Why does Steven Tyler look better than everyone at this table?
I know.
He's like 89 years old.
I saw them
He
perform
does
live.
not look better than any of us.
Well,
Really?
He's
I'll be
like
honest,
70 something.
I'm cuter than Steven Tyler, I feel like.
so if you
think
guys
so?
didn't
I
watch,
think he
he
looks better than me.
closed, Steven Tyler and Aerosmith closed out the show with Post Malone and did a little duet. I was actually surprised that Post Malone could play the guitar like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
kind of hang with them. But Steven Tyler was still killing it. Like he doesn't age in that like he's still alive. All those other guys,
still
for as
alive.
many drugs as he's used
Right.
and like for
Right.
how long he's been on
Yeah.
tour and stuff, the fact that he's still up there
I mean, have
killing
you
it.
seen Keith Richards?
I'm saying.
Ooh,
Yeah.
he's been old for a really long time.
Our entire lives he's been on.
Yeah,
He's been old.
yeah.
He was born old.
He was born old.
And speaking of guitar playing, that Shawn Mendes opening, I don't know if I was into that. I was a little bit bored.
You didn't like the rain
wasn't for
cascading
you.
It wasn't for me. It wasn't for me.
What?
I don't know. Shawn Mendes would be so disappointed to
Yeah,
see a
what do you-
25-year-old straight white dude.
Yeah,
like-
I wouldn't say that I was bored.
I just didn't know. Oh,
What are you looking at?
I was looking at his Nipsey the Wet t-shirt.
Oh, see, I was not.
Oh,
You got your fix there.
Yeah, so it was more for me.
But what's
Yeah.
the appeal of being wet?
Wait. Hey. Oh,
Well,
okay. I was
walked
gonna
into that
say,
one.
weren't
This is
you
a
wet the other
conversation we
day?
need to have with you
Off
after
camera.
the
Right.
show.
How long do we have?
Anyways, there's a lot to unpack. Even more we could keep discussing. Iggy Azalea was there, and speaking of, be sure to tune in today at 5 p.m. for Iggy's interview on Build. You won't want to miss it. I know we could keep going, but in other news, Pepsi is making moves. The cola giant has announced that it plans to acquire SodaStream for $3.2 billion. The Tel Aviv-based company is known for making machines and refillable cylinders through which users can make their own soda or carbonated drinks at home. Let's take a look.
With SodaStream, you can save 2,000 bottles a year. If you love the bubbles, set them free. SodaStream.
Water.
Wow. Do you guys use SodaStream?
Yeah,
don't.
I love SodaStream. I love seltzer, and I just love how easy it is. There's no cords. You could take it anywhere to go.
Are they paying you?
Yes! No, they're not paying me, but I've actually made videos for SodaStream just because I was like, I love it, and I'm gonna just pump some seltzer up in my apartment and videotape it. I don't know why. I really love this product so much.
Wow.
It's really popular.
It really is so popular. I drink seltzer. A lot of people have like, my sister is like a maniac with seltzer.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Because, I mean, I think soda's so addicting.
Yeah.
And now we know soda's bad for us, so it's like a lifestyle choice. Like, people are trying to be better, but you still want that burn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it has to hurt a little bit.
Yes.
But I mean, Pepsi, this is really smart. I mean, look, if you can't move them out of the field, you have to like buy them or join them, right? So like last year, Coca-Cola spent $220 million on a seltzer company. So this is like where they're going. We've also seen like with cigarettes, like a lot of cigarette companies have bought e-cigarettes and they're making their own e-cigarettes. So it's one of those things where if you can't beat enough, buy them, kind of.
Yeah, no, I will say, I mean, I was a fat kid, hashtag Fat Lucas, and I gave up soda and I went directly to like bubbly water and
Yeah.
seltzer and stuff. So like
A
this
young addict.
a young addict. No, literally, it was a problem.
Yeah, I used to drink Pepsi for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack time because
Not
my mom was
Coca-Cola?
Pepsi.
Wow.
'Cause
Yeah.
weirdly-
Pepsi's like,
Sugar.
No, okay, but this is a weird thing. In Puerto Rico, Pepsi tastes like Coca-Cola, and Coca-Cola tastes like Pepsi. So when I moved back to the mainland, I was like, what's happening?
wait, what do you
Weird.
mean?
I don't know. I feel like the factories got switched and they label them wrong, but I swear, if you go to Puerto Rico, it's swapped.
Well,
Pepsi's better.
that's true. When you go to
I
different
know, I sound
countries, they
crazy.
put more or less sugar
They taste
in
differently.
soda depending on the
See?
country, based
Yeah.
on like their preferences. So that
Oh
makes
my
sense.
God.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got you.
I went to the this is not Pepsi, but I went to the Coca-Cola factory in Atlanta, and you can try all of the different
Yeah.
sodas they have and like the different versions. Now I'm starting to get on your bandwagon of sodas they offer in different countries, and they do taste different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Epcot has that.
Yes.
Yeah, you can
Epcot
taste-
has what?
Has a thing where you taste all the different Coca-Colas.
Really?
around the
Where in
world.
Epcot?
It's in Epcot.
What the hell? I've been there a million times.
Yeah, it's there.
Which country?
I don't know. It's
think-
like just in the middle.
Yeah.
Stop asking questions. I don't know the answer.
It's different countries, yeah.
Where's the map? Pull up the map.
But it is funny, like this story, like LaCroix used to
not
be
in the-
something like super kind of bougie and like for middle-aged women.
Right.
And now it's like the millennial favorite. Like everybody, like I think, what did I read? Shares in LaCroix's parent company grew 600% in the last 5 years.
Wow.
If you have a LaCroix, you are hip. You know what I mean? LaCroix is a fashion statement. Your bag, your heels, your LaCroix. Like, you need to have it all.
It's got to be Pamplemousse, though. What's your favorite LaCroix?
That is like such a
Pamplemousse.
bougie.
Yeah.
That's the one it has to be.
Yeah.
Some people rock the coconut. It's very polarizing.
Ooh, I don't like
it's
the
a tough
coconut
choice.
one.
Some
at all.
people love it, some hate it, but it is a statement piece.
I've never had
The
one.
plain LaCroix.
What?
Never had one.
What?
What's happening? Is everything okay?
I just drink water and alcohol. So like regular like flat water, and then I just when I go out. I get
Your
drinks.
bougie ass doesn't drink LaCroix?
I know it's my sweet green. I
LaCroix
do.
coming out of your asshole. You've never tried LaCroix?
No, not really.
LaCroix.
No, it's LaCroix.
LaCroix.
After the show, I'll go try one or whatever. But I don't.
We
I really
have them here
particu-
for free.
have them
What's
here.
going
I just
on with
drink
you?
I drink regular flat bottled water, and then like that's kind of it. And then
Lucas
when I go
spends
out,
every weekend in the Hamptons,
I know.
Yeah.
and he's never tried
LaCroix.
I'm so
That's
confused.
really confusing.
Super
Sorry.
disappointing.
hasn't crossed my circles yet. I don't know.
No,
I'm
that's-
joking. I just haven't. I'm particular about drinks, but I will try it.
Yeah.
I will try it.
Anyway,
Okay,
good
good
for
for
Thinking about
Jamie.
drinks. I'll drink that.
You're gonna love it. In other news, Blackish creator Kenya Barris has officially signed a $100 million Netflix deal. Kenya adds to the lineup of TV producers that have made high-paying deals with Netflix, including Shonda Rhimes and Ryan Murphy. We can expect great content from Kenya's deal after the recent success of the ABC hit Blackish.
Where is Netflix getting all of this money?
Don't
Think
know.
about this. Every single person you know watches Netflix every day.
That's true.
I know, but how many people use their own account of their parents?
No,
I use my
I'm pretty
parent,
sure we
but-
all use one
yeah,
account,
but
and
the
it's
thing is,
all
though-
of our ex-boyfriends.
Yeah, right. Netflix does have well over 100 million subscribers. I mean, they are one avenue of revenue based, which is kind of interesting. You know, 'cause HBO is like subscription, they sell their stuff, so it's different. But yeah, Netflix just is spending $8 billion in content. I guess they make some of it back. I don't know, but they're just shelling out the
It
dough.
is really impressive.
It is.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's crazy.
I wonder if they're going to hit a ceiling soon, but it doesn't look like it. And like based off, getting the Obamas, Ryan Murphy, Shonda Rhimes, they're just going to shell out the dough but to get high profile creators.
Yeah.
And Kenya Barris poaching him from ABC is a big deal.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Blackish has been one of the most successful shows on that network
Yeah.
in years. He did the spin-off Grownish. He also created The Game, which was really popular on BET, and he wrote Girls Trip.
Yeah.
So this man is
Damn,
like
he's on
a
fire.
success machine. And so, like you said, they're investing in people who they know are going
Right.
to continue to churn out greatness.
Right.
Like, this isn't a risk for them
No.
at all.
When I first heard about Blackish, I didn't really know what to expect
Yeah.
watching it.
A lot of people didn't.
And then once I started watching it, it is like the funniest, one of the most like edgy,
Right.
interesting shows, and it's just so refreshing to see that.
Yeah, well, speaking of that, I mean, so Blackish is going to continue. Kenya is no longer going to co-show on it. He's going to continue to EP it. But one of the reasons, unlike Shonda and Ryan Murphy, whose deals with their respective studios was ending, he kind of left his deal earlier. And a lot of people think it's because early this year, ABC pulled an episode of Blackish where they talked about athletes kneeling. And in particular, they made criticisms about President Trump. And he disagreed with that tremendously. So now I think he's really wanting to go to Netflix and be like, he will have basically entirely creative freedom over everything he does.
Which was interesting because they've really let the show toe
Yes.
that line for a long time. They did have a post-election episode where everybody was like really depressed and bummed out. So they have been like anti-Trump, but it is weird that they drew the line on that episode, which I'm sure would be really frustrating to him because he had a really long
Totally.
leash until then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also with Netflix, apparently they're trying to introduce promos in between their shows like HBO does, and people are freaking out about it.
Oh, right, I saw that.
Which I think is kind of interesting. Well, Netflix has like kind of put itself in a corner where like it can't, if it ever variates from what it promised itself to be, people freak out. And also what we're seeing is they just canceled Michelle Wolf and Phil McHale's respective shows, and I think it's having trouble being anything other than a binge-worthy network. It's not appointment
Right.
TV, Netflix.
Right.
So people are not tuning in to like watch a talk show or to see what else is on Netflix. They just like their shows, they're gonna binge watch what they wanna watch. And I don't know, Netflix is really an interesting time right now.
You're right, because they still have the Letterman show, right, which is sort of
Yes.
more of like a sit-down talk show. And then there's one more that
Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea.
They got canceled.
But that got canceled.
It did
Yeah.
get canceled? Either new or Chelsea?
No, they have several. They actually do have a couple talk shows coming out in the fall, so we'll see what's gonna happen. But I don't know. It just seems Letterman's different. Letterman's like a hour-long show that comes.
Yeah, it is different.
It's more sparse. It's not like a regular weekly thing. So I don't know.
It's because of, I feel like it's because of like the topical nature of a talk show, and when you tune into something, well, I guess John Oliver's on HBO.
Yeah. But HBO's appointment TV still technically. I think for the most, like, even though like Samantha Bee and John Oliver, a lot of people watch their shows on online afterwards. I think it's still people tune in Sunday nights for John Oliver, Wednesday nights for Samantha Bee. It's like they're gonna watch those nights, and actually that's the one thing that maybe traditional TV is doing still better than binge.
Well, but can Netflix just stop putting entire seasons up at the same time? Because Hulu has made itself appointment worthy because Handmaid's Tale, you know that you have to wait a week. Like the Bold Type, all these shows that they have on there. So that's sort of Netflix's fault for just putting out the seasons and expecting people to just watch them.
I agree.
It's interesting.
Like we can't control ourselves, don't they know that?
I know.
Totally, no, absolutely can't. Yeah, that's why HBO will never binge, because you will talk about Game of Thrones for 7 to 10 weeks straight, while you'll talk about Orange is the New Black for a weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's done.
Well, speaking of topical stories, Melania Trump warned against the harmful effects of social media at a recent cyberbullying prevention summit in Maryland. The First Lady continued her Be Best campaign, encouraging safe and positive online habits for children. Here's what she had to say.
Social media is an inventable part of our children's daily lives. It can be used in many positive ways, but can also be destructive and harmful when used incorrectly. Let's face it, most children are more aware of the benefits and pitfalls of social media than some adults. But we still need to do all we can to provide them with information and tools for successful and safe online habits.
Okay, now that's a great moment. But of course, not far away, President Trump was sending a series of angry tweets towards former CIA Director John Brennan. He tweeted, "Everybody wants to keep their security clearance. It's worth great prestige and big dollars, even board seats. And that is why certain people are coming forward to protect Brennan. It certainly isn't because of the good job he did. He is a political hack."
Oh, sweet mother of God.
This is so embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, we can't even watch a video of her without laughing at her,
I
and
know.
she's our first lady.
When she says, "Let's face it," I thought after that I was gonna hear, "Let's face it, my husband is bully online." But it just went into a different point, but that was like so obviously where it should have gone.
Yeah.
Right.
But then I think about it and I think, listen, she probably doesn't agree with what he's doing. And if I were her and I wanted to speak out against what's going on and what he's doing, this is probably the small way she can have any comment on his behavior while still remaining in that marriage, even though it is kind of laughable.
Yeah.
What would you do if you were in her position and disagreed with him?
But-
I
Good
would
point.
burn down the White House.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't understand. I get people are like, she's under contract, she's getting paid. I'm like, you are not helpless in this situation. You don't need to be so soft. Like,
She's certainly
your husband is a
complicit.
monster.
100%.
Yeah.
This is as if when Michelle Obama was trying to promote to end childhood obesity, Obama was shoving cupcakes in the kids' mouths.
Right.
Like, it's literally like, this is the equivalent. It's just like, and they made this statement that, you know, she's going to do what she feels is right and the president supports her decision. First of all, she hasn't spoken to the president in 3 weeks, so like they don't know what they're doing. It's just disrespectful because he is going on Twitter, basically starting nuclear wars.
disrespectful?
Because nothing's changing.
What is disrespectful? Her, him, what's going on?
Her. I think the whole thing. I mean, I like joking about like free Melania, but she is, like Shan said, she has her own
partying,
free will.
yeah.
She can
Yeah,
leave
she can
anytime
free
she wants.
herself.
And she could have left when the tape came out October 2016 when he admitted to sexually
Listen,
harassing women.
I don't agree with
Yeah.
anything that these two have done.
Right.
Anything. But to say that this is like disrespectful for her to go out and speak against cyberbullying, it's just, that's not, I don't find it to be disrespectful. I think she's in probably a very difficult situation.
Yeah.
I think she's probably trapped in that marriage. I think she's probably getting abused by her husband. And I think for her to just for us to be like, walk away, it's just like, she's not gonna leave.
She doesn't have to. The first lady doesn't have to have a platform, and she's choosing it to be about cyberbullying, which is a joke when the president of the United States is calling women
it's
dogs
totally a joke.
on Twitter.
I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah,
with
no,
the
and
fact
I don't want to. It doesn't be too serious because Melania is Melania. But I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't think it's like, it's just like, it is comical because she could actually, like, let's try to help homeless children.
Yeah.
Why do you go after that? That's actually an issue. Or continue childhood obesity. But you're doing cyberbullying, which is, like, comical because the president's the biggest troll on Twitter.
But I think you guys are both right, and you're actually speaking to Allie's point.
Yeah.
Melania is a first lady. She's in this marriage. I think we all understand that that's a crazy amount of pressure for her to just leave and divorce her husband. That would be very difficult politically. What she has done consistently is act out against him in her wardrobe and in the causes that she supports. So I think this is her way of being like, yeah, you're a nightmare. I can't just divorce you because, like, yeah, that would look bad, but I can't actually speak out against you all the time, and she does. Not that I'm on Team Melania.
No, but
I think she's very complicit to a lot of the things that have happened. But I think she's doing these subtle things that we're gonna look back and be like, she wore that jacket not because she's a monster, but because she was making fun of him.
And actually, the best thing she did though is when someone said there's a report that like they can't watch CNN, and the first lady said the office, like, she can watch any TV she wants or whatever. That was actually really good.
It's subtle shade. And it's almost like she's surviving this.
But which is kind of sad that the first lady is, like, you know, Hillary Clinton fought for healthcare. Michelle Obama was such a tremendous inspiration. I mean, you know, Melania, you know.
I mean, it's just, you can't compare.
I mean, the theme of anti-bullying, though, is something that's important. If you look at 13 Reasons Why and things that kids are having to deal with, and even the new movie 8th Grade, I think, dealt with some bullying through social media. I mean, it is a real concern, and it is a crisis when you have kids killing themselves. So I don't think that her supporting this is like a vapid, stupid thing, but you have to look at the big picture, and I think there's definitely a reason she's doing it.
Right. Well, snaps for Melania.
In lighter news, Winona Ryder and Keanu Reeves might have actually gotten married in Romania. While promoting their upcoming rom-com destination wedding, the duo revealed that they were possibly married in real life after an actual Romanian priest conducted their character's wedding in Francis Ford Coppola's 1992 Bram Stoker's Dracula. If that's the case, happy 26th anniversary, Winona and Keanu.
Mazel!
Woo!
OMG, I'm so excited. This is the first time we're officially talking about Keanu Reeves on the show, so I got my Point Break mug.
Yes.
Vaya con Dios. You know, big scene, includes suicide, love it.
I love Point Break.
Yeah, it's the best movie ever.
It was one of my favorite movies growing up.
Right?
Seriously.
Same. Yeah, I watch it like once a week. I'm so
Oh my God,
obsessed with
it's so good. Patrick Swayze, Keanu Reeves.
Patrick Swayze pointing his toes in the sky like a beautiful ballerina man. I just like envision him like still in the sky doing that. Like I'm like, rest in peace. He's up there skydiving like a ballerina.
What do you love about Keanu so much?
Everything. I mean, like, look at his soulful eyes. Look at just like his hair. The way that like he somehow is the best actor and the worst actor all at once. Like, he doesn't make any sense. He's just this beautiful, magical being that communicates in a way that, like, I'm obsessed with him. I know you love him too.
I do love him. I love him in The Matrix. Yes. And I do agree that he does possess those qualities of being so incredible and so terrible.
Horrible.
Yeah, I love it. Like that in that movie where he does the fake sneeze. What is it, like the house by the lake or something?
Oh, the lake house?
Yeah,
Lake
he's
house.
like, and you're like, that was the best take? That was the best take? I want to marry this man. I'm like so ready to be married with him and just like build motorcycles.
And build a life.
The lake house though was with Sandra Bullock, right?
Yeah.
That movie, he's just confused the whole time. He's like, wait, is this the past or the present?
But like, and how sexy is that? Don't you love a good confused man who's like, what is going on? And you're like, wow, we're supposed to hook up? Like, what's going on, Keanu Reeves? Why don't you know where you are? We're at the lake house.
I mean, this story makes perfect sense for someone like Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder.
Yeah.
The two of them would get married and not know about it. I mean, just considering their personalities. I'm obsessed with Winona Ryder also. I think she's so amazing. I love her so much. I'm so happy she's in Stranger Things. She's so sexy. She's so cool. No?
My favorite thing she ever did is the security tape of her robbing the store.
I love that.
Best thing she ever did. No, she's an incredible actress in Stranger Things, I think. I'm so happy she's come back into the mainstream because she's so good in that show.
She's so cool. Her romance with Johnny Depp, when you see those old pictures.
Oh, yeah. I mean, all
Winona
of her
forever
photos
and
are
made it Wino forever.
Yeah.
I think Millie Bobby Brown gets paid as much as her now, which if that makes you depressed or whatever, but yeah. Yeah, anyway.
I mean, she hasn't really acted for a decade, so I think if she's like, has to earn the money back, I think that's okay.
She still makes a good amount. She's fantastic, and I'm happy for this happy couple. You know, this is great.
Do you guys remember? Did you see that movie? And do you remember it though? It is
which movie?
The Dracula movie that they got married in.
I've definitely seen it.
The wedding scene is so like they end in this like amazing makeout where it's just like close up and they're like blah 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 blah, and then the whole thing is intercut with this scene where a wolf is ripping apart a woman and it's like blood is splattering all over the room. So it's kind of like a really hot wedding.
The original red wedding.
Yeah.
That's the original red wedding.
And they're in this movie right now called Destination Wedding, right?
Yes.
So do you think this is all just like a ploy? Do you think they really?
Oh, that probably.
Right?
Aw, man.
Yeah.
Aw, man. Marketing campaigns. Get us again.
They're idiots. We're doing the work for them.
I think we'll all see the movie though, because I like
Let's
really.
go to IHOP.
I love IHOP.
And put some Vicks on us.
Yeah. When I love it.
Sorry, just making some soda stream.
We're bought.
We're not bought yet.
HBO.
You guys lost me like 20 seconds ago.
All right, you guys, we need to go calm down. That's all from us. We will see you tomorrow. Same time, same table.
Woo!